So we have an example here. We have Michael J. Smith. The last name is the name of the family. So we have the family name. So Michael J. Smith. And he has a nickname. A nickname is usually, if your name is big, your nickname would be smaller so that it's easier to talk with you or easier to call you. So instead of saying Abdul Wali, some people would say Abdul. It's a way to make it shorter. So Michael's nickname is Mike. Mike. And when we write our names down, sometimes we just write Michael J, and we write the first letter only with a period, with a dot. So Michael J. Smith. All right. Let's look at another example. So here we have Christina Harry Jones. Christina Harry Jones. And her nickname is Chris. Chris. So if you see Chris, all it is the first few letters from her name. So her name is Christina. So Christina. Her nickname, Chris. Okay? Cool. And sometimes she will write her name, Christina H. Jones. Okay? Okay, great. Now I would like for you to say your nickname, if you have one, as well as your full name. So your full name is your first name, middle name, and last name. Okay, so what's your first name? And what's your middle name? And what's your last name? Okay, great. Good job. Now let's move on. Now, there is something we have as called titles. Just as if you see a doctor, you cannot just call him Muhammad Ahmad, for example. You would have to say Dr. Muhammad Ahmad. So you have to give him a title like doctor or professor or engineer. These are titles. But what if I don't know what a person's title is and I want to address them? I want to talk with them. So I would use Mr. for any male. So any man, we use Mr. Okay? Mr. All right, and this here is it's written like this. Okay? So that's Mr. Mr. Okay? And this is for any man. We call him Mr. Okay. Here, this here is Mrs. Okay? They're like this. Okay? Mrs. But this S here is pronounced this, Mrs. Okay? And here we have Miss, Miss, Miss. And here we also have Miss, Miss. Okay? So, what is the difference between Mr., Mrs., Miss, and Miss? Let's find out. So, Mr., we said we use for any man. So we could say Mr. Michael Smith, or we could say Mr. Smith. And this is a title, Mr., we use for a single man, not married, or a married man, someone who is married. Okay? So we say Mr. Michael Smith, or we could say Mr. Smith. So if my name is Mr. Amir Khalifa, you could also say Mr. Khalifa. All right? Okay. That's for Mr. How about Mrs.? So Mrs. we use for a woman that is married. So we use the husband, so the man's last name. Okay? So use the man's last name. So Mrs. Christina Smith, she would be the wife of who? She would be the wife of Mr. Michael Smith. So Mr. Michael Smith and Mrs. Christina Smith are married. Okay? So we do not use Mrs. for a single woman. All right? And when it comes to, so we have Mr. Muhammad Khalifa. He's what we call the husband. And his wife, Mrs. Minna Khalifa. That would be her. Okay? So once again, Mr. Muhammad Khalifa, or we could say Mr. Khalifa, that's him, and she would be Mrs. Khalifa. Okay? All right, very good. Now with Miss we would use for a woman that you know is single, so she's not married. Okay? So we would say Miss Christina Morgan. Miss Christina Morgan, or Miss Morgan. Okay? And this is a woman who is not married. Okay? When we use Miss like this, as in Miss Chen, this means that we don't know. Maybe she's married, maybe she's not. When you don't know, you use Miss. Okay? All right, very good. So let's look at an example right here. Do you all know who that is? Yes, that's Will Smith. And so we would say Mr. Will Smith or Mr. Smith. Right? Now, this is his wife. Okay? And so automatically, she is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith. Okay? Okay, very good. And that's his son. So what title would we give him? Would we give him Miss, Mrs., Miss, or Mr.? Mr. He's a man. He's a male. So you say Mr. Jaden Smith. That's correct. And how about this young lady here? Willow Smith. Which one would we give her? We see that she's young, and we know she's not married, and so we would use Miss Smith. Miss Smith. Okay? All right, very good. Okay. So moving on to something called possessive. Possessive. Okay? So a possessive, let's take an example. So the word my. My. So my name is Amir. Okay? My name is Amir. His name. His name is Ahmed. His name is Ahmed. Okay? Her name is Nancy. Her name is Nancy. Okay, so once again, my name, anything that belongs to me. So my name, my hair, okay, my face, my watch, my, okay. So my name is Amir. His name is Ahmed. His name is Ahmed. And her name is Ned. So remember, my, his is for a man. Okay, so a man. And her is for a woman. Okay, very good. Okay, great. Okay, so welcome back everyone. And let's talk a little bit about jobs and occupation. Okay, so jobs and occupation. Okay, so what do I do? What do I do? Or you can say, what is my job? Okay, I am a teacher. So I teach. I teach. Okay, so what jobs do you know? Some people are doctors. Some people are engineers. Some people are professors. So we have different jobs. Every person does something. Some people study in school. So they are students. Okay, so they will be students. Okay, so let's go on. Let's take a look at some other occupations and jobs. Okay, so what does he do? What does he do? Or we can say, what is his job? What is his job? Okay, and the answer would be, he is an actor. He is an actor. He is an actor. He is an actor. Okay? So, once again, what does he do? Yes, he is an actor. Same thing if I said, what is his job? And the answer would be, he is an actor. Okay? All right, very good. Okay, what does she do? What does she do? So whenever you want to ask someone what a person does, how do they earn their money, what do they do for a living, we say, what does she do, or what is her job? Okay? And she is a singer. She is a singer. So she sings. Okay? So she is a singer. All right? Great. Okay. Now, some jobs that we all see every other day. So, one, we have accountant. 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 Okay? This is a person who uses a calculator. Okay, let's write that word out. All right. Calculator. Okay? And he checks the money for companies. So he checks the in and the out for companies. Okay? Do you know an accountant, or are you an accountant? Okay, so you have accountant. Another job is actor. Actor. Okay, so I want you to think of 5 actors that you know. Who do you know who is an actor? All right. Who can you think of? So, who can you think of that is an actor? So we have someone like Johnny Depp. That's one. We have Will Smith. That's 2. We have Ahmed Hilmi. 3. Okay. We have someone like Denzel Washington. That's 4. And a 5th would be someone like Samuel Jackson. Okay, so we have 5 actors. Okay. And a female actor is called actress. 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 Okay, actress. Okay, how many actresses do you know? Who can you think of? So, we can think of someone like, let's say, Angelina Jolie. Okay? Baker. Baker. A baker is a person who makes cake, bread, and other things that we love to eat. Okay, so he bakes them in an oven. Okay, so a baker is a person who makes cake, bread, okay, even some desserts, sweets, okay, and a baker, he works in a place called a bakery. He works in a bakery. okay? And we go to the bakery to buy the bread, and we buy the cake. All right? We also have a butcher. 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 Okay? A butcher is the person who he kills or he slaughters animals and cuts them and then sells the meat. And we buy the meat to cook and then we eat it. So a butcher is someone who works with meat. Okay? All right. Now, what type of meat do we eat? What type of meat do you eat? Okay. What type of meat do you eat? Okay. So the cow produces a meat that we call beef. Beef. Okay. So from the cow, like this here, is beef. Cow meat. Okay. People also eat camel meat. Okay. And some people eat the meat from the sheep. The sheep. Okay. And that's called lamb. All right. So we have different types of meat that we have. So let's see if we can find a picture to show you. And we'll look and see what lamb is and what camel meat is. Okay. So we have lamb. So let's see. So this right here is lamb. Okay, that's that right there. Lamb. And we also have camel meat. Okay. So we also have camel meat. So a butcher is a person who sells the meat from the camel, the meat from the lamb, as well as the meat from the cow. Okay, So here's what a cow is. Okay? So, do you like to eat meat? Alright, so that is a butcher. Alright, let's move on. And here we have a chef. 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 A chef is a person who cooks delicious meals. So he makes food in a restaurant. Okay? So a chef is a person who you would go and he would present to you a well-cooked meal. And it would look something just like this. So a chef, he cooks food just like this in a place called a restaurant. Okay? A restaurant. This is a restaurant. Alright? So a restaurant looks just like this. Alright, so chef. Chef. So thinking of different types of food, what is your favorite food? You are, okay. I'll try and show you a picture later on. For now, we'll move on. Okay. Another job is a construction worker. Okay, now this is a big word. So let's say con, stra, stra, shin. Okay, so you see there's a vowel, so con, stra, stra, shun. So construction worker. Worker. Construction worker. A construction worker is someone who builds houses and he builds bridges, and we see them building different things. Okay? So we see a construction worker building a house. So this will look something just like this. It will look just like this right here. Okay? So a construction worker, he does this. He builds these houses. Okay? Okay, great. A engineer. Engineer. Okay, so an engineer, he is the person who tells the construction worker what to do. So an engineer, he plans how the house will be built, and he plans everything out and tells people how to work. Okay? So engineer. And we have different types of engineers. We have electric engineer,